Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. Yes, today I'm going to officially do a driving review on the 2022 Genesis G70 launch edition. All right, yes, that is extremely repetitive at this point, but that's what I'm driving. So I think it's important that I cover the different driving dynamics of this vehicle and be specific, especially when it comes to something specific that I noticed about this car, which is fuel efficiency. But then again, that may just be me because I'm not a complainer when it comes to fuel efficiency. But let's get started. I'll preface this video by stating that Ritas is actually going to be doing a review of a Sport Prestige Genesis G70 on his channel. So when you guys get a chance after this, go ahead and check that out. Shout out to Ritas. However, in this video, this is going to be more specific to the launch edition, 1 of 500, and from an owner's perspective. All right, so let's begin. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Appreciate everybody for, liking the video. Thank you very much. And shout out also to the current subscribers. All right. This is a 2022 Genesis G70 launch edition, all-wheel drive, 365 horsepower, okay? Now, why is that important? Because this sits at the top of the G70's trim line, all right? And in today's video, like I stated before, I'm going to go through the drive modes, all right? So we'll start in Eco, then we'll move up to Comfort, then we'll go to Sport, and then we'll go to Sport Plus. There is a very big difference between Eco and Sport Plus, and I'll run those down, do the video, do a couple pulls or whatever, and just pretty much give you an overall perspective of how does the car feel, what changes, what differs within my short time having the vehicle. All right, let's get started. Let's go ahead and jump in, all right? Okay, so we are going to start in Eco mode and go from there. So starting off in Eco mode, I can tell you right now, let me turn this air down. Starting off in Eco mode, I can tell you right now that this does something similar to what my Honda Civic does in Eco mode, whereas it cuts timing. So not only does it keep the revs extremely low, especially around town cruising speeds, the revs are kept at 1,000 RPM, 1,500 RPM, 1,500 RPM, 2,000, depending on, of course, the speed. But generally, the revs are at and below 1,500 RPM. And again, like I said, cut timing, and that is to save fuel. So in Eco mode, I will say this as well. The suspension is very, very soft in Eco mode. You can definitely tell that there's like a floatiness to the suspension as you ride. Of course, it has a dual mode exhaust, which I'll mention again later in the video, but just in case I don't, it has a dual mode exhaust, whereas, everything's quiet. You can't hear the engine right now. I'm doing, what am I doing? 35 miles per hour in this 40 mile per hour zone, and it's quiet. It's a comfortable riding luxury vehicle, right? So if you're just looking for that and you don't need all the extra modes, I think Eco mode is the way to go. You save some gas, of course, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Eco mode is your everyday around the town mode. And for me personally, when operating a vehicle, because I rarely drive the car, I'm either going to be in Sport or Sport Plus personally. I'll get into my favorite mode probably later in the video. But if I'm going on a long highway cruise, if I'm taking a trip, yes, I am in Eco mode, because the one thing you don't want to do when you're going on a road trip or traveling far and is stop multiple times for gas. And I do have a road trip video planned, so stick around for that. So, but anyway, let's move on. I think now we should probably switch it up to Comfort mode so I can explain to you guys the big difference or the subtle difference in Comfort mode. I'm here at the light. Let's go ahead and switch it up to Comfort mode. And comfort mode is going to be different. I think the biggest thing that I noticed with comfort is you get more timing, you get a little more power, whereas eco mode is completely restricted. I would say eco mode is fairly normal minus the additional timing. So again, it'll keep the revs low, maybe not as low. You get a little more throttle feel, more power under throttle, more acceleration when you're in on the gas. So in comfort mode, you know, the revs will be up a lot higher, closer to 2,000 RPM. You get much more throttle response, you know, whereas like I said, in eco mode, the car literally feels slow in comparison, you know, to that 365 horsepower. You don't really feel it all. You don't feel all of it when you're in eco mode. So like I said, traveling on the highway, eco mode. Around the city, you may want to use eco mode as well, but if you don't like the throttle response, you don't like that sluggish feel in the car, comfort mode is a great option. And that's the main difference with eco and comfort. All right, so not really much to go on as far as the comfort to eco. The gauge cluster, it doesn't change. You know, the only thing you get is a message that comes up like I showed you guys once you change modes. But this is where things definitely get interesting. And when I generally like to drive the car, I'm either in one of two modes, sport or sport plus. Around town, sport mode. You know, when I'm going for a quick blast to run some errands, get some things done, sport plus, just so I can get a good feel for the car and enjoyment of the car. Because like I said in the previous video, or one of the previous videos, I am a sports car person. I think I said it in my oh yes, the best Genesis car ever built. Yes, I am a sports car person, so I definitely love, you know, the steering feel, the suspension feel, the change of direction, the weight of the car. I definitely take those things into account when I am driving the vehicle. So another thing that I want to notice, I want to mention as well with eco and comfort, the steering is softer. You know, you get a lighter, softer feeling steering. You don't lose steering response. You don't lose the quick change of direction that the car offers, the reaction. You don't lose that. It's just a softer feeling. It doesn't make it more twitchy to drive, more unnerving to drive. You can just feel that it's much more relaxed, is the best way to say it. Very comfortable, all right? Now, I know sport luxury, you know, a lot of people assume buying those cars, people more so go for the look more than they do the feel and the speed. So I think it's important to mention that even in comfort mode, you still get that comfort feel and that comfort ride. But let's go ahead on. Let me pull it to the side again, and let's switch up to sport mode now, and I can give you guys a little taste of sport mode. One last thing as well, I just want you guys to know, once you're in comfort mode, the suspension isn't floaty, but it's still soft. But let's go ahead, let's switch it to sport mode. And in sport mode, something interesting happens. Number one, your bolsters here on the seats tighten up. You know, they come in a bit. And another thing too, the revs kick down, which I will demonstrate for you now. So we are currently in sport mode. I'm going to go into comfort, and then I'm going to take a quick drive, and I'm going to show you guys how when you switch into sport mode, three things happen for sure. Your bolsters tighten up, the revs kick down because it'll hold revs longer. Instead of 1,000 to 1,500 in eco, 1,500 to a little under 2,000 in comfort, your now will be above 2,000 RPM when you're in sport mode, all right? And your valves open up as well, so you get more exhaust noise. So let's go ahead and try that now. All right, so we're driving along. As you know, we are in comfort mode, and I'm gonna switch it to sport, and the revs are gonna kick down. See that? Bolsters tighten up, you get more exhaust noise, and of course, above 2,000 RPM. All right, so that's sport mode. Now with sport mode, you don't get the highest level of stiffness, I don't believe, because in sport mode, it doesn't get as stiff as it is in sport plus. But either way, you definitely get more of a sporty feel in sport mode. So if you don't want to, you know, the car is not really loud, so I guess it doesn't make sense to say it, but I'll say it anyway. If you don't want people to hear you, but you still want a good sporty experience when driving the car, sport mode is the mode around town, all right? Not Sport Plus. Okay, Sport Plus is, I would say something radical like track, but nobody's taking this on the track. But Sport Plus is more of a back road type of deal, which actually I'm headed there right now. So let's cue it up to the back road and switch to Sport Plus. Okay, so here's the plan. You know, sport mode is pretty simple. You know, you get the kick down, tighter suspension, but Sport Plus is you get the stiffest suspension setting. You get, you know, your bolsters, of course, which is already there from sport mode. You already get the exhaust, but the one thing you get, the big thing you get, is the stiffer suspension, and now your revs are being held up to 3,000 RPM. So as I turn on this back road, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back down into comfort, show you guys how the revs will kick down at about 40-45 miles per hour in each setting, and then I'll give you guys you know, overall driving dynamic feel in Sport Plus mode on this back road. So let's get to it. So let's drop down now. I'm gonna go up to about 40 miles an hour, and I'm gonna drop down into comfort, then to eco. All right, so we're in eco mode. We're about 40 miles an hour even. Now I'm gonna kick it into comfort. Comfort mode, of course, is not gonna give you a kick down. It's just gonna give you the extra added throttle response. Okay, now we're gonna go into sport mode. Boom, you're gonna get a kick down to above 2,000 RPM as I stated. Your bolsters tighten, you get more engine noise. All right, and now you have Sport Plus, where you kick down to above 3,000. At and above 3,000 RPM, of course, you have these nice paddle shifters here, and you get the stiffest suspension setting. Now, of course, you know, sport mode is definitely not reasonable if you're trying to save gas. And I'll really hone in on that gas point that I wanted to make earlier. But first, I just really wanted to give you guys a driving dynamics video. So let me go ahead and kick down another gear into third, into second. You get a nice pop from the exhaust. Nice sound. No, it doesn't sound, you know, as good as it should because it's turbocharged, but for what it is a very good sounding vehicle. Now, if you happen to use the paddle shifters and you want to go back into auto, all you have to do is tap, pull into drive, and then it'll put you back into auto mode, relinquishing you of having to use the paddle shifters. So, still in Sport Plus in this nice little back road. As you can hear the engine. Gonna shift at 3,000. There you go. More engine noise. Sounds good. Rides good. And you know what? The car is not, it's not stiff. You know, I have the Genesis Coupe. You know, you guys know that, which I will be doing a video on probably after this. But it's not sports car stiff. It is sporty stiff. And again, the best part about this car having the adjustable suspension is you don't have to settle for stiff. All right. So, you know, like I said, the vehicle is very, very good in diversifying for the buyer. You know, these modes that come on these cars nowadays, you know, even for the people who are not really sporty or sports car drivers, you know, they get that little racer feel when they get the downshift into the car downshifts for them, or they get to use the paddles and they feel like, you know, they're a race car driver. They lose Hamilton for about 10 seconds before that red light comes up. Yep. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is basically go up and down this little back road and give you two views. I'll give you kind of like a bird's eye view as well as a view of me in the cabin watching me do my thing. So let's get to it. Let's get started. All right, here we go. Sport Plus mode, manual. Let's start in second gear. Don't worry, launch control will be in another video. But nonetheless, I won't do launch control, but I will do let's do, since this is an extremely straight road, and it's empty now, with just this car going back the other way. All right, I'll just do a quick pull. Let's go. This is my first time doing this, by the way. You ready? Let's go. All-wheel drive. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Ride's good, smooth. Of course, all-wheel drive. No wheel spin. Let's take over. Here we go. And yes, if you do not shift, the car will shift for you. Hear that? Nice pops, nice exhaust noise around a 4,000 RPM range. Nice downshift. Nice, nice. Now, like I said, this is sporty suspension, not stiff suspension. So you're still going to get a little, you know, float over bumps and hills in the car, but it doesn't feel like you're losing control of the vehicle. It's very, what was they say? Balanced. You know, it definitely can handle the floaty type scenarios. Let's go back down in the third. I notice I don't get the pops. I notice I don't get the pops from the exhaust once I'm up toward the red line. I don't hear them. I only hear them down around 4,000 RPM. Let me slow down and give you guys an example of that. So you can hear it. Yeah, see? That's interesting. I thought it was programmed for you to get it all the time, but nonetheless, still sounds good. Still sounds good. Now let's talk a little bit about the transmission, since you know, I am spiritedly driving the vehicle. The transmission, you get a lot of feel out of the transmission when shifting. It's not buttery smooth. I think in Sport Plus, you even get it in Eco mode as well. Along more speed, you can feel the transmission shifting. Not a bad thing, just mentioning it. But also, I also noticed that the transmission, especially in Sport Plus mode, it does give you a kick when you're shifting gears, when you're on it. You know, when you're on the throttle, you're into the power, and you're shifting, you get a nice little jerk back, giving you that feel of a shift. I like that. You know, I'm a manual transmission guy. So that's great for added feel, to give you that added sporty feeling for the car. But let's flip around and go the other way. Let me give you guys a view of this actually pretty cool little back road back here. So let me flip around and I'll get back to you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go for a ride. Let's go. Sport Plus. Manual. Let's ride. That feels pretty good. I think I want some more spring rate. Let me get a little more spring rate to alleviate some of the floatiness over bumps, particularly for this road, of course. But I think on any other road, it wouldn't be that bad. But these are pretty bumpy, hilly, like little flat roads. Of course, I'm next to the water, so that's probably why it feels like that. But let's go ahead and give it another go here. go. Little hill. Nice and quick. Nice. 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 Got a little bit of traffic right here, so let's ease up a bit. So yeah, I like the way the car feels. I definitely don't think that this is some car you could just show up at the track and hold on, let me let this guy go down a little bit more. I don't think this is a car where you could show up at the track and say, yeah, this car is definitely a track performer. Now, is it track capable? Sure. You know, if you decide to do something like take a sport luxury vehicle on the track, yes, it is going to give you good feel. It's going to perform. You're not going to pass any Porsches, anything like that, but it's definitely going to be exciting, especially if, you know, you don't own anything more track ready or track capable like a Porsche, Ferrari, McLaren, things like that. Or even your more sportier vehicles like, i.e. a Genesis Coupe, a 370Z, the new Toyota Supra, and soon to be the new 2022 Nissan Z as well. You know, you got the Cayman GT4 Porsche, things like that. So anyway, let's give it another go right here. Yes, you do not get the pops. I'm noticing you do not get the pops when you're full on throttle at the top of the rev range. And that's fine. That's fine. You know, the pops is more of a, you know, around town, sounds good, get some sound out of the car. No burbles, no pops and crackles out of the vehicle. You know, I think that would be extra for something like this. I think if you're going to get burbles, pops, and cracks out of the exhaust, you have to go up a new trim. They're going to have to bring out, you know, like, you know, kind of like how, like I mentioned before in the previous video, kind of like how BMW has the M division, where you get the M car with the wider fenders, different front bumper, different rear bumper, more power, even louder exhaust, which they actually may be working on. Whether it's going to be a sport variant version of this car or not remains to be seen. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Appreciate everybody for watching. You know, again, thank you to everybody who liked the video and subscribed to the channel. I've got some errands to... I'm going to go ahead and get this video for you. But again, let me mention the gas portion of the video that I brought up before. Whereas, if you're in anything other than eco mode, this car is going to burn gas. Plain and simple. It's going to burn gas, all right? So you're going to be filling up, if you're driving around town, you're going to be filling up the car probably, I would say, every 250 to 300 miles, you'll need a fill up. So, you know, in a later video though, I will be talking to you guys about how much it's going to cost to fill it up from empty. I am currently near empty, yes. But appreciate you guys for watching. I will catch you in a later video. Oh, don't forget, I will be at the New York Auto Show. I will also be at Corvettes in Carlisle. I will be doing the unboxing. Oh, actually, yes. Next video, I will be unboxing this. All right, let me bring it up one more again. This is my first time using the trunk pop. There you go. Trunk flies open. I will be doing an unboxing on this. This comes with your launch edition G70, the Dr. Beasley's detailing box. All right, so I will show you what is in that. And if I'm not mistaken, that is actually a couple $100 worth of detailing material, but we won't know for sure until we open the box. So that video is coming up next. And then the video after that, my ceramic coat appointment is finally here. So I can get this car on the highway and start going to some different car shows and locations and road trips. See you guys in the next video. I'm out.